Sorry. You'll have to pretend to be a superhero somewhere else.
Really? I see.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notable actors who either auditioned, were highly considered, or even came right down to the wire in getting cast as a superhero, but ultimately missed out on the role.
All this useless information in my head, you know?
Number 20, Joel Edgerton, StarLord.
If you have a better solution, I'm all ears.
Joel Edgerton played Owen Lars in the Star Wars prequel episodes 2 and 3, but he was this close to adding another famous star to his resume, if he had only nailed the audition. The star in question is StarLord, the role now made famous by Chris Pratt in multiple Guardians of the Galaxy films and other MCU titles.
StarLord, man, legendary outlaw. Guys?
As Edgerton put it, he failed the audition because he didn't quite sort of understand the tone of it, a tone Pratt obviously nailed. It's worthy to note that Glenn Howerton of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fame also captured this tone perfectly. In fact, director James Gunn revealed that if Pratt had declined the role, Howerton was his second choice.
I reign supreme!
Number 19, Demi Moore, Supergirl.
Dinner is served.
Oh, I don't want any.
Chateaubriand.
Even die-hard superhero fans might not know or remember that there was a Supergirl movie released in 1984. Following the third Superman film, this spin-off was a pretty big deal at the time. The movie attracted some big Hollywood names to try out for the lead role, including Brooke Shields and Demi Moore. However, the producers wanted an unknown actress, so they chose Helen Slater instead. They did cast Moore in the role of Lois Lane's sister Lucy, but she later dropped out of the film to make Blame It on Rio instead. It turned out to be a lose-lose situation for Moore, as both movies bombed and received a score of less than 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure, this is where the action is.
Number 18, Jason Momoa, Drax the Destroyer.
This is gonna be fun.
Jason Momoa became a superhero with his starring role as Aquaman in the DC Extended Universe, but he could have entered the comic book movie scene a few years earlier had he thrown his hat in the ring for the role of Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cease your yammering and relieve us from this irksome confinement.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the walking thesaurus on that one.
However, for Momoa, the timing just wasn't right. As he told Zap to It back in 2014, quote, "I've done so many things where I don't say much and I'm coloured up and have my shirt off again." Basically, he wanted to show off another side of himself, so instead of playing Drax, he went off to co-write, direct and star in the 2014 film Road to Paloma.
You know that wasn't my intent.
Number 17, Margo Robbie, Invisible Woman.
You're really good.
There are a lot of rumours out there about Margot Robbie and the role of Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four. Going back to the 2015 reboot of the franchise, it has been reported that Robbie auditioned for the role but ultimately lost out to Kate Mara.
That wasn't me.
Then, in 2019, Disney's purchase of 20th Century Fox meant that the Fantastic Four were coming home to the MCU, and once again, rumours began circulating regarding Robbie being brought in as the Invisible Woman. However, that didn't happen, again, as Vanessa Kirby was cast in the role instead. Although, rather than losing the part, this time, some sources say that it was Robbie who declined the offer.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Number 16, Sandra Bullock, Wonder Woman.
Hey, get your ass behind the yellow line.
With the release of Speed in 1994, Sandra Bullock went from relatively unknown actress to Hollywood superstar. Before this movie, she probably wouldn't have been considered for the role of Wonder Woman. However, after its release, Bullock shot right up to the top of the list, becoming a top contender for the Amazonian superhero.
You're not gonna get mushy on me, are you?
Maybe.
In fact, a 1999 article in Empire magazine reported that Bullock had been cast in the role for an upcoming Wonder Woman film. Unfortunately, the film never materialized, and we never got to see Bullock don the bracelets of submission or wield the lasso of truth.
I compel you to tell me the truth.
Number 15, Jensen Ackles, Hawkeye.
Pudding!
While he has built some solid superhero cred by voicing Batman in a number of animated movies, Jensen Ackles has yet to portray a superhero on the big screen. It's not for lack of trying though. Ackles initially auditioned for the role of Captain America, but he didn't impress the studio as much as Chris Evans, so he was passed over.
Oh, come on, Sam, stop.
Nonetheless, they liked Ackles enough to offer him the chance of playing Hawkeye in the MCU. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Supernatural fans, Ackles had to decline the offer due to his commitment to the CW series.
Let's hit the road. I need a drink, or 12.
Number 14, Rachel Lee Cook, Rogue.
Be silent. Be still.
In 1999, Rachel Lee Cook became a teen rom-com icon starring in She's All That, a film that defined the genre for a generation of moviegoers. After taking off her glasses, Cook received numerous film offers, including the opportunity to play Rogue in the X-Men movie.
Suddenly, my life doesn't look that bad.
However, she turned it down, telling the New York Times in 2021 that she wanted to, quote, avoid acting on a green screen. It is a decision that Cook quickly regretted though, admitting that, quote, as soon as I saw the posters for it, I knew that I'd made a mistake. In a fun twist though, you may remember that the role ended up going to Anna Paquin, who actually took off Cook's glasses in She's All That.
I have an idea.
What kind of idea?
You'd really have to trust me.
Number 13, Amanda Seyfried, Gamora.
I'm gonna go. Please stay. Promise me that you will not tell anybody that I invited you.
Oh, mamma mia, Amanda Seyfried could have been Gamora. While Zoe Saldana has been great in the role, Marvel first offered the part to Ms. Seyfried, who turned it down. I mean, it was hers if she wanted it, but she didn't. Why, you ask? Well, according to multiple reports, it came down to two things. First, Seyfried wasn't psyched about spending all those hours in the makeup chair to turn green. Also, she had strong doubts that the film would be successful and didn't want to star in the first box office bomb in the MCU. Seyfried admitted that she wondered who would want to see a movie about a talking tree and a raccoon. Well, millions apparently.
We are
Number 12, Jake Gyllenhaal, Spider-Man. We all know that Jake Gyllenhaal played supervillain Mysterio in 2019's Spider-Man Far From Home, but had things gone a little differently, Gyllenhaal could have been Spider-Man himself many years prior. Following the massive success of the first Spider-Man movie back in 2002, complications arose regarding Tobey Maguire's return for the sequel. Maguire demanded a higher salary, which the studio initially refused.
Could you pay me in advance?
With the actor's participation up in the air, the studio went looking for a replacement, and Gyllenhaal's name was on that list. But that's as far as it goes, as the issues with Maguire were eventually resolved, and he continued in the role.
That would be nice.
Number 11, Wesley Snipes, Black Panther.
There's still a war going on, and I have a job to do.
Forget Blade, there's an alternate reality where Wesley Snipes played a different Marvel character in the 90s. After hits like Jungle Fever and White Men Can't Jump, Snipes was on a definite hot streak, so he was the perfect person to bring the Black Panther character to life.
You don't know me. You don't know anything about me.
So, why didn't it happen? Well, there are many reasons. While they did get 3 scripts written, this wasn't ever going to be an easy project to get over the finish line. The technology wasn't advanced enough, and even the name Black Panther was more associated with the National Revolutionary Group than the comic book character. To quote Snipes, long story short, we didn't end up making it.
But maybe I don't see it that way.
Number 10, Joaquin Phoenix, Doctor Strange.
Still seeing through me, are you?
Benedict Cumberbatch was director Scott Derrickson's first choice for Doctor Strange, and luckily, it all worked out for that to happen. However, there was initially a scheduling conflict that took Cumberbatch out of the running, so Derrickson had to consider other actors. And the one he looked at the hardest was Joaquin Phoenix.
What do you think?
Derrickson liked Phoenix, and both men had some productive discussions about the character, but as he told Slash Film, it soon became clear to both of us that this might not be a good fit. Determined to get Cumberbatch in the Doctor Strange suit, Derrickson went to the studio and asked them to move the shooting dates to fit Cumberbatch's schedule. And they did. Number 9, John Krasinski, Captain America. Let us tell you about how Chris Hemsworth's impressive physique ruined John Krasinski's chances to be Captain America. Apparently, Krasinski had made it to the stage of testing costumes for the role. However, as he tried out the tight outfit, Hemsworth walked by and casually remarked,
"Hey mate," and I went, "I'm good, this is stupid. It's okay, I'm not Captain America, it's fine."
After seeing Hemsworth's ripped body though, Krasinski instantly knew he was outmatched and decided to bow out. While that is a funny anecdote Krasinski has shared time and time again, the actor actually admits that he just wasn't a perfect fit for the character, which ultimately went to Chris Evans. That's too bad though, because who wouldn't have loved to see Captain America put Iron Man's stapler in Jell-O?
Can you reprimand him, please? How do you know it was me?
Number 8, Emily Blunt, Black Widow.
You're fired.
Not every choice in life is binary, but for Emily Blunt, choosing between Gulliver's Travels and playing Black Widow in Iron Man 2 seems to have been exactly that. Although using the word choice in this case may be a bit of a misnomer really. Because you see, it wasn't her choice at all. If it had been, Blunt would have been Black Widow, as she was first offered the role by Marvel.
Is that dirty enough for you?
However, Blunt also had a contract with 20th Century Fox, which pretty much obligated her to make Gulliver's Travels instead.
It is too late.
You are kidnapped.
I am kidnapped.
As a result, she was forced to turn down the Black Widow role, which she admitted to Howard Stern was a bit of a heartbreaker.
You have been kidnapped. Congratulations.
Enough with the kidnappings!
Number 7. Tom Hiddleston, Thor.
You know, it all makes sense now why you favored Thor all these years.
There are so many layers to this one. Let's start off with the fact that the eventual Thor, Chris Hemsworth, had such an unimpressive first reading that he was almost let down on the spot. His brother Liam Hemsworth also auditioned, but was apparently too young for the part. Then there was Tom Hiddleston, who did well enough in his first reading that he was given 6 weeks to bulk up.
You know, at first Tom was up for Thor. He trained, he came in, he was ripped.
However, director Kenneth Branagh ultimately decided that he was better suited for Loki, a winning decision for Marvel fans everywhere. As for Chris Hemsworth, his agent pushed hard for him to get a second chance, and once he grabbed that second chance hammer, no one else was worthy of the role. Number 6. Annette Bening, Catwoman.
Meow.
Annette Bening made 12 films in the 1990s, yet she didn't appear in any in the years 1992 and 1993. Was it that she just wasn't offered any roles? Well, no. In fact, she had already secured the part of Catwoman in Batman Returns, the 1992 sequel to Tim Burton's Batman.
Maybe you can help me find the woman behind the cat.
And she really wanted to do it as well. The issue was that she also got pregnant around the same time, and a pregnancy just doesn't go well with a tight-fitting catsuit. As she revealed on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, I had to call Tim Burton and say I'm having a baby. The role ultimately went to Michelle Pfeiffer, who won universal acclaim for her portrayal. Number 5. Cillian Murphy, Batman.
Well, he's not faking. Not that one.
Cillian Murphy has worked with director Christopher Nolan multiple times over the last 2 decades, starting with 2005's Batman Begins. Murphy played Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow, in the movie, but he actually first auditioned for the titular role.
Who was with Falcone at the docks?
He wasn't right for that part in the way that Christian was.
He might not seem like the most obvious choice to play the Caped Crusader, which he has also acknowledged in interviews. As he told Mark Maron on the WTF podcast, Nolan wanted me to screen test for Batman, which I think I knew, and he knew I was wrong for. Murphy went ahead with the audition anyway, and we're all glad he did, because it led to him being cast as Scarecrow, a role he was definitely right for.
He's here. Who? The Batman.
Number 4. Dougray Scott, Wolverine.
Suggestive, even borderline suspicious.
There are few actors as synonymous with a superhero role as Hugh Jackman is with Wolverine. That said, the only reason he got the role was because shooting on Mission Impossible 2 went over schedule. You see, Dougray Scott was cast as Wolverine and even signed on for a multi-film deal.
Good. Then we know where it'll be, don't we?
But Scott was also playing rogue IMF agent Sean Ambrose in MI2. So when that film went long and Scott got injured while filming a motorcycle chase scene, it became an impossible mission to go and make X-Men. Thus he had to back out, paving the way for Hugh Jackman to take over. Number 3. Leonardo DiCaprio, Spider-Man.
I'm a survivor, alright? Don't worry about me.
There are so many awesome things about this one. First is the fact that James Cameron wanted to make a Spider-Man movie in the 90s. Second is that reports had him casting Arnold Schwarzenegger in the role of Otto Octavius.
How right you are.
And third is that he was eyeing Leonardo DiCaprio as Peter Parker.
No, it's not what I was thinking.
So, how close did this actually come to being a reality? Well, according to DiCaprio, not very close. But he did reveal that there was a screenplay written and he had multiple conversations with Cameron about it. So that's close enough for this list.
Almost.
Number 2. Tom Cruise, Iron Man. Tom Cruise had been one of the biggest stars in Hollywood for over 3 decades, and that fame is precisely why he wasn't cast as Iron Man. Normally being a big star gets you big roles, but it also comes with a hefty salary. While we now know that 2008's Iron Man kicked off one of the most successful film franchises ever, back then there simply was no guarantee that that would be the case.
Please, no gang signs.
No, throw it up, I'm kidding.
As revealed in the book MCU The Reign of Marvel Studios, Cruise's asking fee at the time was more than even a profitable studio like Fox was willing to risk on an untested superhero property. As such, they found a safer choice in Robert Downey Jr.
For your consideration, the Jericho.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Nicolas Cage, Superman. Yes, we know that Nicolas Cage had a brief cameo as Superman in 2023's The Flash, but here we're talking about Cage potentially playing the Man of Steel in a 90s movie called Superman Lives. And listen to these names, not only was Cage going to play Superman, but the film was going to be directed by Tim Burton and written by Kevin Smith. Now come on, how awesome does that sound?
True story, it happened 50 years ago. Just felt like sharing that with you.
Unfortunately, producer John Peters had some weird story alterations, like Superman not being able to fly and a requisite battle with a giant spider. These strange demands, alongside budget concerns, ultimately led to the death of Superman Lives. So which of these almost superhero castings do you wish had become a reality? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.